Okay, so this is my first vlog. So one of my goals for 2017 is to record and produce more content. I'm gonna do it as like my creative outlet, I guess. Don't really have a lot of time to invest in learning completely new skills. I'm not interested really so much in learning to draw or become an artist. I don't have the time to practice a musical instrument to the degree that I would be satisfied with. One thing I've always enjoyed doing is recording video and taking photos and, capturing images that edit well together and, are interesting to look at. And also I ramble and talk about things quite a bit, so this would be a great outlet for that too. And so I'm gonna give this a go, pick up a vlog for 2017. I think New Year's resolutions they're kind of pointless to me. Just that, if there's something you need to do to improve yourself, you should start it as soon as you know that you need to do it, not necessarily wait until a day on the calendar ticks by. But here I am doing that. So I'm gonna give this a shot. My goals for this are put out a video that's about 5 minutes long, just for each of the weekdays. I'm not planning on doing this on the weekends, but I'm gonna try and stay adaptive to that too. If these things take way longer to do, then it might go to every other day or even once a week. I know a lot of this at first is going to be learning, figuring out how to do what I want to do, record what I want to record, and say what I want to say, figuring out what setups work. There's going to be a lot of experimentation early on here, I'm sure. Part of my goal with this is to improve my communication skills and my photography skills, and I like editing as a creative outlet, and so that's what I'm pursuing first and foremost. And so if the vlog nature turns out to be totally uninteresting, I'll have to go for something else, but this is a way to at least get started and get regular practice, because that's probably the biggest part of it, is getting practice. Being in school, there are times where I have really interesting things that I can capture and then edit together, I'm sure, but there's also times where I have to come home and study every day, and that doesn't necessarily lead to interesting things to watch, so it's going to be probably a fair amount of me talking just so that I can get this practice of stitching things together and communicating in this manner. What I would love to be able to do is eventually get to the point where I can produce content like you see in the Corridor Digital behind the scenes channel, the Sam and Nico channel. They really put out fantastic vlogs, but it's about their business and kind of the behind the scenes for their video production company that they run. And there's other people like Philip DeFranco who put out fairly interesting videos on news topics, but they encourage conversation, and so I'll probably spend a fair amount of time talking about some of the topics that they bring up, as I just need something to practice on, and the thought-invoking stuff that they post is pretty good. Other influences for my creative taste are like Dr. Matt from the Vet Ranch and Demolition Ranch channels. He's got his own network that I think is really cool, and he's clearly got a lot of other things going on in his life, and he still manages to find the time to pull this together. So that's cool, and something that I look at as encouragement that I can do it too. And then these are good skills to build, because in my future career I never know what sort of form online communication might take and what might be necessary. You've got people like Dr. Andy Rourke, who has his own blog and releases his own videos and promotes other people's pieces of writing, their columns, and other videos that they've put together too that are beneficial to the field of veterinary medicine and client education, and a lot of important stuff there. And so those skills, the skills that I build with a vlog like this, can certainly be useful down the line for something like that. And then there's other encouraging things I look at for starting something like this, like iDubbbz. He might not be the flavor that most people would necessarily like, but I certainly find him quite entertaining. And he's clearly evolved a lot over the past couple of years, and it's just a matter of doing something and doing it enough to get the experience to know how you're gonna change what you want to produce the product you want. That's not to say I'm looking to produce a product. This is going to be a hobby thing, because the product I'm actually producing is myself as a veterinarian, and so that comes first. But this is a way to keep me engaged and feel like I'm doing something even when I'm in class every day. And when you're in school and you're sitting in class for 4 hours a day, and then you're coming home and studying that same material, it feels like you're spinning your wheels a lot. And so this is going to be an outlet for that. I like to do sports and go to the gym and stuff like that, but with some of the health conditions I've got currently, that's very difficult, and so that's a little bit more of a time investment for exercising energy other than what I can put into my education. In the past, played a lot of video games and just watched a lot of stuff online. As fun as those things are, they're not really fulfilling in the same way as producing something is. I want to put something out instead of just consume. And so that's my goal for 2017, is to produce a product. I know I'm probably not going to like it for a while. The thing I produce is going to be a while until I'm really happy with it. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to change it as I have to, and I'll learn along the way, and hopefully I'll get to a point where I've learned enough things that I can produce something I am happy with, and it's just a lot of practice. So here's to starting a new thing and learning how to practice.